When you're working with clay, you need a piece of burlap. You also need a basket of tools on your table, and you need a container of water, and then of course the clay. When you are putting two pieces of clay together, you can't just press them together and then expect them to stay like that forever, because when it dries, this would just break off. And when you get your project back, you don't want to be sad because it's broken. So what you want to do is something called slip and score. And so scoring is when you scratch the surface of the clay. So you're going to score the clay where the two pieces are going to join together. So I'm going to take this tool, which is really a good tool for that. This has little teeth on it, so you can just use it to scratch the surface, to score the clay. And then where that piece is going to join on this one, I'm going to do the same thing. And then also, I'm going to take my water and put some water on that. Just make sure that you're not smoothing it out when you do that. This is where we are slipping the clay, and it's called slip because usually artists would use watered down clay, which is called slip, but water works just as well. So just put a little bit of water on it and then press the two pieces together. I'm giving a little kind of a little twist there just to make sure that they're kind of like locking together. And then I'm going to take this tool and go around and just press down where the seam is, just all the way around. And if it makes it kind of like rough, you can make it nice and pretty again by smoothing it out with your finger. So there's my little animal with the head now. You can add other things, but you just need to be careful not to add things that are too thin, because if you do, they will break off, guaranteed. When you are creating your clay object, you can also, instead of attaching pieces, you can shape it by pinching the clay. So if I was going to make 2 feet or 2 legs, I would just pinch the clay, but I'm not pinching it too thin. So there are 2 techniques that you can use to build your object that you're going to make: attaching by slipping and scoring, and pinching the clay. A good example of making something too thin would be this. This is kind of like a tail if I would want to attach that. I can't just do this and make and expect it to stay. That's gonna, when that dries, it's just gonna be very brittle and that's gonna break. So one solution to that would be I would slip and score, and when I attach it, I will actually put it on so it's connected to the body. So it has a tail now, but it's not going to break off. I can also make ears. I don't even know what this animal is. It could be an aardvark. When you're finished with your clay creation, use a stylus tool. That's one of these little long pieces of wood that looks like a pencil, but it doesn't have any pencil lead in it, and write your name and code on the bottom of your clay piece.